Good morning.
We're excited to see what you're going to read to us today.
Have you kissed your pug today?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look. I can see in the camera you got your new flowers.
I do.
You got new flowers from...
My friend Michael, the designer.
Yeah.
W Flowers.
From his flower shop,
His
not
flower
from
shop,
me.
Not from you.
Did you get them because it's your birthday, Mother's Day? Is it Mother's Day?
Mother's Day is next Sunday, the 10th.
So there is absolutely no good reason you have these flowers.
Sure there is. It's a very good reason.
What's the good reason?
I like to bring color and life into my home. And they're beautiful. No, look at how beautiful they are. And I can keep them alive for as long as I can. I take care of them. I trim them.
They're made to die, right?
But they are supposed to die.
Which that's your specialty.
I do love that.
Plant killer.
They are supposed to die eventually.
But you got another you got another plant that you're not yeah. So it's up in your office.
It's very risky.
Vicky has an office because she has a job.
I don't have a job.
Okay. But you have a place to Zoom and study.
Yeah.
And take a nap because there's a bed if you want. And we built some IKEA furniture.
But mostly
But there's a praying plant. You got a praying plant.
Yeah.
It goes like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly I just wanted to support a local business, and I had all my allowances from not spending money. We have our I hate calling it a budget, but our financial plan.
Our weekly allowance.
Yeah, so we get money every week, and it was all saved up in my drawer.
Because you couldn't spend it.
Because I couldn't spend it. And so I bought a bunch of flowers from my friend so that he can pay his rent.
Yeah.
And hopefully not lose his business.
W Flowers.
He's in recovery, and he's really turned his life around.
Yeah, he's got like 8 years sober. Started a flower shop last year.
Yeah.
Still has to pay rent.
Yeah.
There's no rent relief for him at all.
No.
But he says, the guy upstairs, he's got my rent. So, yeah. Anyway, beautiful flowers.
Thank you.
I guess.
Thank you.
And good for you.
Thank you.
I wanted to, you know what I've been thinking about? Is having a contest. And so we have t-shirts.
We do.
And we have, what's it called?
He's being
There's a wrestling match. We have t-shirts.
Yep.
And we have ball hats. And we have kombucha. So I was going to say, if anybody wants to play our contest, I don't know. It's just a prize giveaway. So if anybody wants to be included in the prize giveaway, then share, like, and comment on this video.
No.
And then okay. Now, how do you play?
I don't know.
How do you get the prize? That's how you have to get the prize, because then we get your name and then we put it in a little hat and then we draw.
Oh, that's
and
what
then
you're gonna do?
You can pick if you want a t-shirt, a hat, or a 6-pack of kombucha delivered to your house.
Okay.
Or unless it's unreasonable. And then anyway.
What, you're not gonna mail kombucha to Kenya?
No, I'm not. We have delivered kombucha to Brooklyn, New York.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, a 2-4.
For an art show.
And then we did one, we delivered a case of kombucha out to BC,
Yes.
Vancouver. It was cheaper to go to the United States of America
Than with
Canada.
Kombucha.
Yeah.
However, we don't typically deliver outside of Ottawa.
No, we're not.
We do
going to.
deliver in
Anyway,
Ottawa.
you can pick up the 6-pack. We'll put it that way. I will deliver the clothing to your address because I'll order on our online store, ashestorubies.com. Anyway.
Knowing John, there'll be more than one winner.
So if you can comment, share, and like the video, and then I can get the names and we'll do the draw maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday. If I have 2 names, then I need at least 1 name. Anyway. All right, so that's our fun Saturday giveaway. We're in May. May the 2nd. Is it my turn?
Do you think anyone can tell that I've already had a coffee?
Yeah. Yes.
Is it that obvious?
Yeah, you're on the double now.
Thank you so much.
Is that what's that show from?
Paw
I'm on
Patrol.
the double. Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol.
And so we say once we've had 2 coffees, we're on the double, just like Paw Patrol. Sometimes we go on the triple.
It just puts me in regular speed.
You're on regular
I'm
speed
in
right now.
regular
You can
speed
just
right
keep
now.
up to me right
I
now.
can
Woo!
barely keep came up to you.
Let's do a giveaway. Let's go for a walk.
All right. Let's
Okay,
go.
here we go. May the 2nd, our higher power for the next 24 hours. In recovery, we live one day at a time, an idea requiring an enormous amount of faith. We refuse to look back unless healing from the past is part of your today's work. We look ahead only to make plans. We focus on this day's activity, living it to the best of our ability. If we do that long enough, we'll have enough connected days of healthy living to make something valuable of our lives. I pray for knowledge, for your will, for me only. Maybe you should let the dog out. We surrender to God's will. We stop trying to control, and we settle on a life that is manageable. We trust our higher power's will for us, that it is good, generous, and with direction. We're learning through trial and error to separate our will from God's will. We're learning that God's will is not offensive. We've learned that sometimes there's a difference between what others want us to do and God's will. We're also learning that God did not intend for us to be codependent, to be martyrs, to control or caretake. We're learning to trust ourselves and the power to carry that through. Some of recovery is accepting powerlessness. An important part of recovery is claiming the power to take care of ourselves. Sometimes we need to do things that are frightening or painful. Sometimes we need to step out, step back, or step forward. We need to call on the help of a power greater than ourselves to do that. We will never be called upon to do anything we won't be empowered to do. My prayer today. Today, I can call upon an energizing power source to help me. That power is God. I will ask for what I need. I will ask for what I need. What's your thoughts?
I was remembering at the beginning, or I guess at the end, maybe in the dark place, feeling hopeless and totally like, I can't do this anymore. And then just saying like, okay, God, if you're real, then I need your help and I need your peace. And then I just remember slowly over time making decisions that were different than the decisions that I had been making before, or like things would come to mind or somebody would suggest something and it would just resonate. And it was as if I had been, like a peace had settled into me or a wisdom or something. And I think when I was in it, I wasn't able to identify it really well. But I think as it continued, and then when I started to look back, I could see like really all the ways that God was there for me, helping take care of me and protect me when I couldn't take care of myself, before I could help myself.
And I think that's the word, is that we have to let God do his job.
Yeah.
And if we're in active addiction, if we're in active codependent relationships, then we're actually in control. We're actually trying to exert our power and our will in those things, really not meaning to, but it's all self-protective. It's our solution. And so this is actually really getting me to admit that God is good and that my way doesn't work and it makes me powerless and my life becomes unmanageable. And I need the power of God. Mm-hmm. And so I like what it said, that God did not intend us to be codependent, to be martyrs, to control or caretake. Mm-hmm. We're learning to trust ourselves. And so I need God's power to take my life back and do his will. And so I can only do that out of God's power. I can't do that on my own power.
And I think when there's disruption or disorder even in one area of my life, then I need to re-examine my relationship with God, because God, like, that's not what God intended. And so I think sometimes in the past, so it's easy to talk about like when things were really horrible, because then all the little baby steps were very significant and made a big difference. But then I kind of settled into sort of a pattern of living, and maybe a
Like complacency.
And maybe well, at least I'm not like that anymore.
So in the complacency or the compliance is where we take our will back.
Exactly.
And it's not like a straight down roller coaster ride. It's a slow ride into a bottomless pit. I know that there are more people that commit suicide sober than while drinking. And so just because you're sober, it doesn't mean you've gained your power back. You can be complacent. You can be resting on your laurels, as the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous says, and you actually lose your power. You're powerless again. It's just the deception, the delusion, the denial of it. Mm-hmm. And so I know one of the guys that I listened to, he tried to commit suicide 10 years in, and he's a circuit speaker in Alcoholics Anonymous, and he built this reputation of being this god of Alcoholics Anonymous, but he was like the fat gym teacher. Like he couldn't do the work himself, and that's what this is a personal relationship, not how many people or what I can do to get notoriety, but to have a personal relationship with God myself. And so that's how I get power.
What's scary is the secrets that you're carrying if that's happening. Mm-hmm. And the secrets that we carry,
well, and expectations and the shame of it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the shame, our own expectations of ourselves, the expectations that we think people have for us, and then us feeling, if we get into a place where, if we're in total chaos, but yet we have to present to the world that we're fine because we're this circuit speaker, that shame just starts to compound on each other.
Or running a rehab.
Or whatever you're doing.
You're the reason why people are getting sober, and you're carrying all this weight. Right. I need a break from that. And then I turn to alcohol.
And so when we talk about higher power, and when we talk about a higher power who actually, the knowledge of your will for me, and I think it's the knowledge of also like who God created us to be, and the fact that I mean, for me, I can't serve or believe in a higher power that didn't create me and want me to be here intentionally for a purpose, because otherwise life is totally meaningless for me, and it all doesn't matter, and I might as well just end it. That's just where I go. And so for me, I remember that moment of like just feeling overwhelming love, that God loved me, and that this suffering is never what he wanted for me. And I remember needing to take that next step of, I need to talk to somebody. Like, I cannot carry this secret alone anymore. And I needed safe people that I could go to and say, like, this is actually where my life is at.
And we're not built actually to live on a roller coaster, but the Ferris wheel. And that might not seem super exciting, but God's Spirit gives us the ability to actually love it and long for it and want to glorify him, bring glory to him instead of bringing glory to yourself or to the bottle or to your addiction. And we end upon where she writes, we will never be called upon to do anything we won't be empowered to do. And so it's only by God's power. God did for me what I couldn't do for myself.
Did he ever?
Ever.
Because you were... No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Thank you for joining us. Comment, like, click, share, one of those things, and we'll have a little draw, and I will either send you out a hat, a toque, a t-shirt, or kombucha. All right.
And we just pray that you will experience God, that you will not hold on to your secrets, that you will see that there is a God who created you and loves you, and that you can release the expectations on yourself, the expectations you feel others place on you, and put your hope and your will and surrender to a power greater than yourself.
Amen. And call him Jesus. Amen. 2 coffees, eh?